10 minutes, is that like, four?
We can,
Okay,
so
we're gonna wait for 10 minutes. Okay.
what are we waiting for?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, the tires have this. Well, actually. It's kind of fun, wasn't it? No, but he's kind of one.
First one, like.
Like when we look at how much. And then my sister coming 2 weekends after that. Are they good again? I always, even my mom's. She's doing. She's so much. Yeah. My mom probably would needs more reading. And then she. No, she's one.
See.
All of a sudden, that's what she said, she did. She's singing. Oh, I know she's juggling. Yes, she's singing. I'm actually not in the brains. It's been nice to watch. I haven't just watched.
I'm pretty sure there's no almost.
That very last year, almost.
Maybe under more.
Then do you have a participant?
Yeah, that one goes over knowledge of on that's other things too, but nothing, no chat.
And, yes, she's the same. I don't know. Which is true. That have to be worried about. Okay, let's go. And the spring one. That's not exciting for you.
About ready to run.
No, it's not. This is that. When it looks like the reach of I guess we're in great. Yeah, I'm in law. Like, no, because Zoom is looking at code. So, mostly it's, you know, sort of, it's something like, don't hold it, and the program come off. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of them, right? So they take me on their level, and you're like, situation. Until Thursday. Oh.
So, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and what I'm very shy and welcome.
Said not at all.
She was recently in Broadway. And so I heard how
You know, that woman, I really know, just walking thing
and then
here.
said, just got to. Here's such a diet over there, and so I'm like, I think that, and it was. What did you enjoy? And I have a great change, better name immediately.
Yeah, everyone's not in the
That kitchen.
You know.
Okay, finally.
First time my ask, he comes in, we gotta go, and I go, no. She's on.
Oh, there she is, there, Chad. That's funny. Right.
It's research that needs to be developed.
Yeah. But I want that.
Okay, I'll be looking to ship again until Monday.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
It might be doable, not, maybe not doable.
I did not make any promises.
We got some reviews experience too, so.
Thank you. I need to know. And there's some ways that you, it's.
Apologies, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Recording in progress.
Meeting of the Rio Dell City Council. Thank you everyone for your patience. Roll call, please.
Mayor Barnes? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Carter? Here. Councilmember Orr?
Here.
Councilmember Wilson?
Here.
Councilmember Wood?
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is the time for persons who wish to address the council on any matter not on this agenda and over which the council has jurisdiction. As such, a dialogue with the council or staff is not allowed under the Ralph M. Brown Act. Items requiring council actions not listed on this agenda may be placed on the next regular agenda for consideration if the council directs. Unless a finding is made by at least 2/3 of the council that the item came up after the agenda was posted and is of an urgency nature requiring immediate action. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Anyone? Are there any hand raised? Or we can do them? And we will close public presentations. We'll move on to the consent calendar. Is there any one who would a council member would like to remove an item from the consent calendar? Anyone? Then I will call for a motion to approve the consent calendar. Have a motion, second, a second, we vote. Motion carries 5-0. Report from the staff communication, city manager. Page 47 in our packets.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes, members of the council. So tomorrow, Wednesday, 17th at 1:30 p.m., there will be a ceremonial groundbreaking for the water capital improvement project. That will take place again at 1:30 at the Douglas Street water tank site. So on the farthest west side of Douglas Street, up the hill, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony with Senator McGuire, Supervisor Bushnell, and Mayor Garnes, amongst other representatives, including representatives from Cal OES, including the former director, Mr. Gilladucci, who was born and raised here in this community. So we're looking forward to that, and certainly all the council members are invited and encouraged to attend. Beyond that, unless there's any other questions for the written staff report, we're happy to answer those questions for the council.
Thank you, City Manager. Anyone have any questions? No hands raised? No emails? What's that item? We go on. Yeah. Oh, I am. We are going to make a change to the agenda. We are going to move item 2 under special call items, financial support for the camera system related to public restrooms at Fireman's Park, to the first item after the staff reports. So we're going to do that in this moment. It's page 67 in our packets. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes, members of the council. So back at your council meeting on June 18th, the Mayor Pro Tem Carter requested that the council agenda as an item to discuss a financial contribution covering a portion of the cost of the camera system for the public restrooms at Fireman's Park. And as I think the council is well aware, the bathrooms have been recently vandalized at that point. So with that, I would recommend the mayor turn over the meeting to the mayor pro tem.
Okay, thank you. I asked for this to be on the agenda because I do think that was a pretty awful vandalism over there. And it's not the only place in town where we have these incidents of vandalism varying to varying degrees. I think that it is important for us as a city council to support any efforts locally to crack down on this kind of vandalism, because even if it's just in one place, that sends a message that, you know, this is something we crack down on. I also think that that is really our only public park as of now. And lots of events occur there. I think it would be a big help to our police department, potentially, if we did have some cameras over there. And I think it would just be a benefit to the community. Again, vandalism, crimes, all kinds of stuff. So I just thought it would be nice for us to pitch in some amount, you know, to be discussed, and show our support for, you know, the effort to crack down on vandals. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Jerry Mazzani, would you like to come up and say a few words? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. So we had Advanced Security come and give us a bid on what the cameras are doing. So let's start. Well, I'm Tim Barsani, I'm part of the street. So there is good. First, I want to thank the council for to put $20,000 for the playground equipment next to help. So, you know, we do have vandalism. So it starts with the tables too. So the tables of purchase are $800. People purchase them and put a memorial thing on them, you know, so on and so forth. So now they're starting to pull them apart too. So now that's a cost to the fire because they have to make new plaques, which, you know, gets in their pocket. So back to the bathroom. So just before that occurred, we had to break into the women's bathroom. They took the screens out and they could reach up on the door, got in there. So there was a pad on the floor with a bunch of needles, so it broke in, shooting in the bathrooms. So it's, thank heavens, one fireman seen it. So now we got plates over the screen so they can't. Well, that started the first month we had. So we're looking at, we got a bid to receive, so we're looking at about $2,500 just to replace the stuff that they destroyed with the memorial. Yeah. So they did, Vance come down, give us a quote today. So this quote is for 4 cameras. And they wanted, we talked to Paul about putting them on the pole. And he said that's not a good idea. So he wants to put one on the building, shine in the bathroom. He wants to put another one on the other corner, shine in the park, one to cover the baseball field, and then one to cover the new playground. They want to put one on the new boxes, you know, like they're put graffiti, they put graffiti, okay. So the deal, not put them on the pole is because they want to run the board inside, and they will be monitored for a week. And then as the week starts again, and it starts erasing. So if something goes on, we go back and look on our computer, see who gets damaged. So it was, to give us a bit of $4,600 for it, and that's installing them. So this would be a district expense. It would be nothing, because that's all belongs to the district. So, and like I say, whatever you could do, you know, we appreciate it, because just like you, but in our budget. You know? And since we have grown to a big district, you know, we're one of the bigger districts now. I mean, we're almost big enough for 2 since we took in Scotia shot. Pretty big. And we do, I looked last night, my wife was going, so we have 43 partners. So we're growing, we're doing all right. Got new equipment.
And this is 4,600 for all 4.
Yes, it is. Yeah. 46, 60, 53. I'll chip in the 53 cents. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at. We're gonna do it. It's gotta be done, but it's gotta stop.
Well, thank you for that information. It's good for the city and the fire department to work in partnership sometimes, because it's really good for the whole city, not just for the fire. Yeah, that's how we got to.
We work fine with you guys. Yeah, chief works good too. Would you like it?
How hard is it for the, they're not poles, how hard is it
Thank you.
actually? They see cameras and stuff.
And we talked about that, you know, if we're lucky, they don't shoot them with BB guns. I said, we hoping they don't shoot them with BB guns. Kids are kids. So he's gonna do some checking for us and see if there's some way they could put something and protect them. But they're gonna be in the peak of the fire hall. So that when the pole, he said, no. You've got
They got the axles up on the pole, wasn't it? They somehow get on the pole.
oh, well, they would throw off some brake lights. So nothing secure.
Are there going to be good cameras? I mean, so many of the cameras, you get a picture of some shadowy figure doing it. Are there cameras that are good enough to?
Some better than
Yeah.
the other thing too is we've got choosing other people in town, and oftentimes they don't see what. So even if it's not the best picture in the world, sometimes we're pretty good at it.
And I think it's a great idea because you've had other bands, a lot of graffiti
Oh,
and people playing on top of it. And I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
People do that now.
it
Would
is.
also be doing that.
So this advance, I think they've got security. So yeah, so this year, I've been 53 years, I've been Market Street, 25 department, and then since 95 on the board. But I think these last few years, it's just terrible. It's terrible. Okay, any other question?
No more questions, so we don't have a discussion about it.
discuss an amount, I guess. Is that something we can do here, or do we have to do that? Okay.
Discussion and action.
All right, my suggestion is that we just split it and give the fire district, $2,300. I'm open to discussion. I'm gonna start it there. Let's go.
I agree. They did so much for us.
Absolutely, that's number one. But the thing came to mind was
So, is there anyone from the, citizenry who'd like to speak? No? Are there any hands raised? So, is there a motion then to split the cost for the cameras with the fire department? I mean, I'll remember.
Second.
Is that sufficient motion, or do I need to do it?
I think that's good. I just want to make sure that we're clear. It would have to be a reimbursement. So the receipts, once the work is done, then get provided, and then the remainder is.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for
And then actually, if you could add it into your motion that the city council finds it in the public's interest to cost share this item. Because there are restrictions in state law regarding the gift of public funds, even between allied agencies. That would be appreciated.
So can I say what he said?
Oh,
I think Karen captured it. So.
Yes, I do. Oh, that's what I said.
okay, that's okay. Second, we have a motion in the second. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Get back to.
So one thing I didn't know is you cannot shine the cameras in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's against the law.
Yeah.
So if somebody opens the door, they'll shine. So anyway, they can't open. I didn't know that. Thank you.
It's good. Hey, thank you for being you.
You can go pick your trim now.
Please.
And now we will receive a presentation by wastewater superintendent Kelly on future proposed amendments to sewer regulations and creation of the sewer lateral repair replacement program revolving loan fund. Page 55 in our packets.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor Garn and members of the City Council. City of Rio Dell wastewater treatment is state regulated. City of Rio Dell's inflow and infiltration, I&I, is a known issue with the state and city staff. We, the staff, are proactively looking for ways to resolve some of these I&I. One of those ways is to clarify language in the City of Rio Dell's municipal code, chapter 13.10, sewer rate regulation. Staff is looking for clearer language in chapter 13.10 for clarity in designating boundaries for present and future wastewater customers, such as 1, making clear that backflow devices and lower cleanouts with correct direction of sweep are installed at the time of sale during sewer lateral inspection. This not only protects the customer by making sure that backflow devices are installed, but by installing lower cleanouts with correct sweeps or the sewer main, allows sewer crews to check lower laterals for plugs and cracks where I&I may occur. 2, clarifying language that at time of sale sewer lateral inspections, camera work be done to look for tie-ins or shared laterals. When discovered, these be immediately made aware to the property owner and then a 60-day timeline be given to fix the matter. This clarifying language will help to establish newer private lateral back devices, lower cleanup, and the city will install new lower. 3, requesting that if a property is within 300 feet of the city sewer and their current on-site wastewater treatment septic system fails or is not adequate for future development of the property tied to the city's sewer system. It has also been brought to my attention that throughout the city of Rio Dell, there are many hidden private sewer laterals, some of them tied to their neighbor's lateral. According to city code, this is not legal and must be dealt with at the time of sale. A lateral test inspection is attended and corrections must be made to pass lateral inspection. It is during these tests that neighbors and homeowners discover the problem, and letters of deferment are written to help with the completion of the project. Sometimes these lateral corrections can be costly, and a surprise cannot be financially sustainable for low-income residents. It is staff's recommendation that at a future date, the city, one, create the sewer lateral repair replacement program revolving loan fund, wherein the city set aside $150,000 from the sewer fund to make available to homeowners that are needing new sewer lateral replacements and lower clean out installation. Two, a fixed 5-year loan with a 6% interest paid back to the city. This revolving loan fund, RLF project, is currently being worked on by the finance department and city attorney as a result of some of the details for staff to have a complete presentation for the council at a future date. Staff also sees that the RLF will be useful when smoke tests of the sewer system are done and broken private laterals that are discovered during these tests will need to be fixed. Having a program that offers help when it is needed will be valuable to the city and the sewer customers of Rio Dell. Thank you for your time and consideration. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. Mayor Clifton?
I think it's a great idea. No, maybe questions later, no, right now, no. I think this is wonderful. I think this is the kind of stuff that sneaks up on people. And I think that as a city being able to help kind of maybe support like new homeowners with these things that just pop up. Yeah, I think it's great. Thank you.
Councilmember Moore? No question. Councilmember Wilson?
And just one on the camera inspections, that's, the city has the camera, I think, we'll be doing the inspections of the camera.
No, usually what happens when someone goes to sell their property, they hire a plumber to inspect their lateral. And in the lateral inspection process, I will, make sure that when they've inspected their lateral, that they look for these things. Sometimes they don't always come up. So making sure that the camera work gets done so that when they do a pressure test, they'll know why it's failing. It's not just a surprise and they have to dig up the whole line. So doing camera work will actually find those lateral tie-ins. Whereas when they just put in a balloon and they think it's leaking, then they got to dig up the whole line and then they find the tie-in. So it's kind of helpful on all ends just to have a camera.
And part of this is a sweep, which way are you gonna have it sweep?
At the lower cleanout, at the property line to the city-owned lower lateral, the sweep needs to be toward the main sewer main.
It sweeps, that's what it does now, and that's how it's.
Some of them do, some of them don't. And that's part of what needs to be part of the inspection on these lateral inspections is that we make sure that the sweeps are correct. If they're incorrect, it causes issues further down the line.
That was under the impression that was required. You still have to work the city.
Yes, but sometimes they get placed incorrectly. And so at the time of sale, we can catch these problems. We can have them fixed then.
Oh, someone so old that there was no regulation. Councilmember Woodall?
So this would only be at the time of sale, or if you were to find that wasn't right with.
Well, currently it's during only time of sale. So when they camera and they find that their neighboring high and lateral will have to put in their own private lateral. That we will insert that gets tied. We will have to put in a new lower lateral for that. So at that time, they will have to, a lower clean out the correct sweep as well as the back. So we're making sure that both laterals are perfect.
Thank you. And with kind of tying on to Councilmember Woodall's question, if you were doing an inspection, if someone just had a problem in their house, in their line, and you had to end up going and looking at it and doing an inspection and something was exposed, would then they have to deal with that, or will this be just get around to it when you can, or?
Well, that's why we're asking for the clarity and when it does become present to both parties, the and the property owner, that they have time to fix it. And then with this revolving loan fund, if it's something really big, then they have the opportunity to get it met within those 60 days.
And So when you're currently, you guys do I&Is, right? Currently, just around the city, is that a practice that,
Well, we currently have been going out and cammering where we know there are, cleanouts, to check our lower laterals, to look for potential I&I issues during the winter. So most of the time, influent infiltration only happens when there's a lot of
right.
Right now, it's nice and dry, so we can camera and look for those cracks, big splits in the lower laterals to the main.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Good question.
Hello, council. Hello, city manager. Hello, chief. Unfortunately, in this situation,
Identify yourself.
I'm Kylie Hawthorne, on property 351 First Avenue with my husband Ronald Hawthorne Jr. We've all had pretty much good discussions. In my situation, I had a plumber come test. I bought my house 2.5 years ago, and it'll be coming up on 3. I did everything as a homeowner should by getting other contractors to come and check my house out, because buying a home is your biggest purchase. I have letters that backed up that I did my lateral test. The city signed off on it, and sewage backed up in my house. The suite, like she said, is backwards on the road, which is city property. Again, these things have gone unnoticed, but my paperwork was noticed, it was flagged, and there was no work. The people are just now getting work order to disconnect from my. That's all I have. Thank you.
You know, I'm sorry that that happened to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Sharon Wolf, 3 Painter Street. I just had a question, because I look up about half of what you're saying. On the one that had to do with septic, does that apply to the property that's gonna be the Cal Fire? You said it had to be property within a certain range of sewer plant, and I didn't catch all of it. That's the only property I could think of that it might apply to.
Yeah, there are some properties that currently have septic systems. And if they are not big enough for the proposed project and they're within 300 feet. So the old language back in 2013 was changed to the, I think that's what it was. And so some of the old language said 300 feet. If the property was within 300 feet, they could be tied into the sewer. That language has disappeared. So we're trying to put that language back. So if you have a septic system and it fails and you're within 300 feet, just tie into this sewer. That's what they.
And just to clarify the point on the specific property that Ms. Wolf was talking about, which is the former Todd property, the Cal Fire project. The state of California, as far as we are aware, in this particular issue is not required, regardless of city ordinance to comply with it. So.
That sounds about right for the state. Yeah. And then my other comment I wanted to make, and I know there'll be a future discussion of any of the loan program as it gets implemented, is the 6% interest seems a little high to me in consideration of when we bought a house here a couple decades ago, it was the city contractor, the one we were directed to use from the city that said, no, you tie it right in, this is what you do. This is what the homes have been told, this is what's been going on for a lot of years, knowingly. And homeowners are stuck in this situation at the moment. So, I just kind of throw that out there, seeing as Rio Dell is a low-income property that just had major earthquakes and everybody has a heck of a lot of bills going up. Maybe that 6% interest could be talked about, bring it down a little bit. The program itself sounds good. You're going to have to do the upgrades, but you're asking the homeowners essentially to do this upgrade, which is a benefit to the city, of course, and the property. So, anything we can do to make it reasonable for them, maybe bring that interest rate down a little bit would be great. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And so are we, I know that we're not being asked to do anything, but are you or someone doing these amendments, clarifying the language? Is that?
On them, I will speak to that, I will present it to you.
Thank you. And are there any insurance? We will bring that to a close. And we will move on to special call public hearing on the list of delinquent sewer accounts to send to the auditor controller for placement on the tax roll. Page 59 in our packets, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor Garland, members of the council. I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our finance director, Mr. Travis.
Thank you, City Manager. Good evening, Mayor Garland, and members of the City Council. On July 6, 2023, the Rio Dell City Council adopted ordinance 399-2023 to allow the city to send delinquent sewer charges to the auditor controller to add them to the tax rolls as needed. The city is required to follow protocol for Health and Safety Code 5473, including holding a public hearing. During the hearing, the city must hear and consider all objections or protests referred to in the notice. If the city finds that the protest is made by the owners of a majority of the separate parcels of property described in the report, then the report shall be adopted and the charges shall be collected separately from the tax roll and shall not constitute a lien against any parcel of land. Upon conclusion of the hearing, the city may adopt, revise, change, reduce, or modify, and charge or overrule any and all objections, and shall make a determination upon each charge described in the written report, which determination shall be final. On or before August 10th of each year following the final determination, the clerk shall file with the county auditor controller a copy of the report prepared pursuant to section 5473. It is the staff's recommendation to open the public hearing, receive public input, and deliberate. Furthermore, staff recommends approving the final list of delinquent sewer accounts to send to the auditor controller for placement on the tax roll. Thank you for your time this evening, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson?
If it's possible.
Yes, sir.
So what? See that condition, like, but to clarify, the majority of the people on the list disagree with it. Staff is what you said.
Correct. Yeah, so it has to be a majority of, I believe.
Right. That's all.
Thank you.
So we were talking earlier, you said it's similar to what we do with the nuisance abatement, you put it in the tax lien, but it takes 5 years before you can actually collect.
It's like five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody just having not paid their sewer bill 1 year, they're not get a lien, well, they'll get the lien, but the 30 years to rectify.
That's right, yeah. There wouldn't be any immediate
Yeah,
action on
okay.
the parcel.
Just make sure they were gonna have an immediate.
That's done. General? And, questions, anyone? Yeah.
My name's Calvin Fontaine and I live at 185 Douglas, and I got a notice for the final due date for delinquent utilities. And on it says there's going to be a lien put on the property. Is that true? Okay, so when does and you just said that I have so much time before it actually hits the property to pay the bill?
Yep. City before that. If you don't by that date, then the lien will be placed on the property and have to back on your controller, but it's about 5 years.
Okay, and this ordinance went into going last year. Okay, I'm hoping that I'm not the only one that got it. Yeah. Okay, I know that that's probably not my business considering anything else, but and it doesn't go to you don't get a chance to go to collections or nothing, you just go straight to lien on the property, right?
Can we talk about what a lien on the property means?
It means yeah, I know what it means. It means that if I sell the property or anything like that, you get your money.
But nobody's swooping in and taking.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I'm just, with everything else that goes on with that property, I'm just kind of, I get it.
That's what's on property.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, we have a question. And email. So is there a motion to approve the final list of delinquent sewer accounts to send to the auditor controller for placement on the tax roll?
So much.
We have a motion, is there a second? Motion is second. Motion carries 5-0. That brings us to council reports. Councilmember Whittle.
Nothing much. I just wanted to say, came in our meetings and beautification. It was beautification and walkability and they wanted to participate more in the city, and so they had and it was a successful day. There were some people that attended, but they were in and it's nice to have businesses. That's about it. I love that.
My turn. Yes, I have encouraged proper wellness to come back to those meetings and, and keep an open line of communication. I do think the manager must spend on this month right before the days, so more to come on that. It has been so long since we were in here. My member report's gonna, I don't know. We hosted a REDEC meeting, that was since last meeting, right? So we had a bunch of other people from jurisdictions down here. And I think it went really well, got a lot of positive feedback on, the gateway, and they loved our electronic sign that said, welcome, REDEC, board members. And they really liked our city hall change. Anyway, it was nice to have people from all over Humboldt County down here giving us compliments. So, nice to hear. I've been to chamber of commerce meetings, I've been to school board meetings, I've been to fire district meetings. Not gonna, one of them went till 10 p.m. I have another REDEC meeting coming up this Monday that will be in Eureka. Tomorrow, we have our nuisance advisory committee meeting here at 3 p.m. Friday, 1:30, beautification, walkability, and pride committee. And I think that's it.
What's the nuisance?
Tomorrow. And I forgot, Wildwood Days. I think we're having Wildwood Days before I'm back here. I think that's before our next meeting. So, it is such a good time. It's wonderful. I hope everybody comes out. We'll talk about a way to get a lot of feedback from the city. I always hear good things. Drag your friends. My mom is singing on Thursday at Mingo's. Come on by at 1:30. She's good, I swear. That's it for me. Thank you.
Or
Nothing much, and HCOG is canceled for this month, so next month.
member Wilson.
Supposed to have to be that. Yeah, next. Because, back line. And then there's no PWMA in August.
And I did an HTA meeting the 3rd of July. And they are really moving forward with their ride Humboldt. They can now, you can on one pass get from Richard, Crescent City all the way to Santa Rosa. On one pass, even if you change systems in Ukiah, I believe you still can just ride on that one ticket. I am doing my best to fight for them to find on their express that direction to stop at Davis here in Rio Dell, so that Rio Dell citizens don't have to go to Fortuna. They tell me that there's a timing thing, that they've timed it out, but I then reminded them, because they want to stay on 101, that Wildwood is one. Fine for that. You know, and I think they can on and off at Davis without any problem anyway. So I am fighting for that. I continue to fight for that, but right now they said they heard me, but they didn't change anything, so I'll be fighting. I have a site commission meeting on Thursday, and I will not be here on August 2nd, make up for when I wasn't supposed to be here, but then I was. Julie, I'm going to miss the HTA meeting in August. The August one, the August, okay.
Mayor Gardner, so you're, this is Preston, talking about the one that's gonna try to fix the ticket right now.
Oh, it's very long gone now. Yeah, and so Amtrak now, it used to be that Amtrak could you could only ride Amtrak if you were connected to a train. Now that's changed. You can just use Amtrak as a bus service, but it only stops in Arcata, but Fortuna in the south part. It only stops in Fortuna, and it no longer stops in Scotia. So the HTA is now outside of Amtrak. Now is starting an express service that will go, but it stops in certain spots because they're trying to meet a clock time. And that's the one that I'm trying to get them to stop here in Rio Dell. And, you know, that needs to be something the community should be able to get behind. HTA to stop at H Street because it's just on and off. Keep going, off on and on. So, but that's the story in the moment. So I think that all. The motion to adjourn. So we have a motion and a second. A motion and a second. Meeting is adjourned until August 6th at 6 p.m.